Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Marty. I wanted to talk with you a little bit about some new makeup releases. I have no makeup on. I wasn't feeling well, but I'm just wondering if some of these brands are feeling well. So ignore all of this. I'm going to put some pictures up and we'll just go ahead and get started. So the first thing I noticed was there's a lot of obviously there's a lot of new releases, but kind of like tons of unusual sales. So I mentioned before Adept had one, Cleona had one, and now they're like doubling down on additional sales for Valentine's Day. So it's kind of strange, like these quick follow-up sales. So Adept had, on top of the things that were on sale last week, the week before, now they had like $25 off of 100, and Cleona had a percentage off gift cards. Like the more gift card dollars that you spent, the bigger the percentage. Also, Viseart is claiming up to 60% off their palettes. Day Day Signature had some big sales, like 25 or 35% off. The one palette that I've been interested from that brand was the one that had lots of shimmers. I'll put a picture of it, but it was sold out. And even their new one, so their most recent palette of like shadows and I don't know what it was, something in secrets, their Valentine's Day one, that was included in the sale. I thought that was really interesting. About Face, they have had like 40% off site-wide since I want to say November or December. So are they rebranding? Are they okay? What are they doing? And brands like Laura Geller, I mean, they've been on sale for forever. And they're on Ipsy Shop, they're at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and just like constantly on sale. 40% off today, 60% tomorrow, 80%. But I think some of the higher end indie brands having sales kind of back to back like that, I found that really interesting. This week also, I noticed, Juvia's Place, they've had a lot of sales. They're kind of dropped off in popularity, so I saw 35% off site-wide, and Essence even had like 20% off for Valentine's Day. But a brand that I had just so happened to be thinking about, Sugar Pill. I was just thinking about that because I want to do like some Throwback Thursdays, and Sugar Pill was one of the palettes. I was like, oh man, I used to use that all the time. And I just got an email, because we live in the Matrix and they can read my mind, that they're having a 65% off sale for their birthday. So I have the Fun Size palette, and what's for sale today is called the Fun Size 2. It's all matte, colorful palette, and I don't really do my makeup like that anymore. But I was taking a look at it, and it was like $10.50. So my question is, and food for thought, like what is going on with all of these brands? Sale after, on the tail end of sale, just a lot of different sales, different emails, and I wonder if it's like function of this time of year where spending is down, people are paying down whatever they bought for the holidays. But yeah, so it's been interesting. I'm not picking up any of that. It seems like some of the stuff is, I did place a previous order. I showed my Cleona stuff, and I still have the Adept ones that I'm working on, and I'm really happy with them. So just my thoughts on all these sales and the constant product pushing, and just a note to say, these things do come around on sale again. So, on to new things. So, Natasha Denona is launching these 3 new, they're called Luxe Glam Compact Quads. And the big selling point is that the same size pans as the original 28 pan palette, which was 2.5 grams. They have 3 color combos, and it's $48. So that's a lot of numbers. So I took a little look-see over at my collection, and this little puppy is 12.5 grams for 5 shades, which equals, you guessed it, 2.5 grams per shadow. So now we're getting 4 shades instead of 5, and I think these were $48. Am I crazy? The math is like not mathing here. So long story short, that's not new at all. And if you have any of these 5 pans, or even any of the littler ones, just use those. Victoria Beckham. So I had mentioned on one of the prior videos that Victoria Beckham is one of the brands that I'm interested in, and I was just kind of waiting for that perfect color story, and they came out with an orchid quad. It's $76, same format as the other ones. Looks like it has 3 mattes and a shimmer, or maybe the one is a satin. But it looks really pretty. It kind of has mixed reviews, though. I've seen a couple of people that had it in PR, and now that I can see it, and that's kind of what I was asking for, I'm like, $76, that's crazy. So I'm not gonna buy it yet, but also the Bordeaux one I think is still pretty, so maybe someday, but not today. I went to Walmart, so I saw a brand, a display, and it was called Nude by Nature. And again, they had like a 30% off sale on their website. And I looked it up online when I got home. I took a couple pictures. I'll post them in the thing. But it says, for over 15 years, Nude by Nature has set clean beauty standards the Australian way. I don't recall ever seeing or hearing anything about this brand. So they empower everyone to embrace natural beauty through high-performance products crafted with clean, ethically sourced ingredients. And it looks like some of their best sellers are like a mineral powder foundation, some volumizing mascara, but I never see anything. I've never even heard of that or anybody talking about it. So when I looked it up and it said for 15 years, I was like, it flew right under the radar then. The next thing I saw at Walmart was Lizzie McGuire. So there's a new Lizzie McGuire collection, and it had a palette, it had some, other bits and so forth, but it had like a fuzzy compact. I'll show a picture of it. I think it was a blush, but a fuzzy compact. It had like a 15 pan eyeshadow, really pastel, very springy. I don't know anything about Lizzie McGuire. I don't have kids that age or whatever. I don't even know what age they would be to watch that. But it was pretty, and if you like the quality of profusion, I was more interested in, I noticed one of those big 21 shade palettes. I think it was called Twilight when I looked it up online, and cool tones, lots of purples. I really don't want another 21 pan palette of any sort, but when I looked online, it was only like $10, so hopefully it's good quality, but it's just a awfully big palette, Other stuff. Oh, so I was on Instagram and I came across this Micah Beauty Shop, and I think it's a French brand, indie brand, and it was stating that they had reopened U.S. shipping, and there would be import fees and tax fees collected at checkout. It's like another $16.50, or a percentage. Taxes are 16.5%, of the total order value. And there was this really pretty palette called Cascading Wisteria, and when I looked it up on their site, the palette itself was like over $70. And then you tack on another 16-17% of taxes, which is not a fault of the brand, I understand that, but I was like, ooh, we are approaching like $100 here. So they had a couple of really, really pretty color stories, and I really liked the look of the first one, but I was just like, $100 for 12 pans of eyeshadow. I don't know. That's gonna have to. It doesn't even get on the want list because it's just too much. Speaking of too much, Chantecaille. I don't own anything from Chantecaille. This is another brand that I just like stare at from afar. But they are releasing 2 trios of their Flamingo collection, and it is the Dusk Eye Trio and the Dawn Eye Trio, so 3 shades. One is like supposed to be cool toned pinks and purple, and one is supposed to be warm toned pinks and purple. They honestly kind of look the same, but it looks like one may be more shimmery than the other. I kind of doubt that that's true. But these are $80 each. So $80 for 3 eyeshadows. Just wild. So I'll be interested to see if people pick them up. Like, if you recall when Patrick Ta released those duos at 42 for 2 eyeshadows, people were in an uproar. And then, Chantecaille has this trio for double. That's a lot. So they do look pretty. I wouldn't turn them away if they showed up, but I would not be purchasing that. Another thing where I'm just like, are these brands like in touch with what's going on? Sea Beauty, so Sugar Rock, it looks like they released another of their 12 color eyeshadow palettes. And it looks like all the tones are pretty medium or deep, which is fine. And 4 out of the 6 or so shimmers appear to be that blackened base or really darker on the lid. So that can be like pretty dramatic for every day, or depending on your eye shape. A lot of people kind of shy away from having a really dark shimmer, and they avoid like deepening the actual lid or having it be that dark because it can make your eyes look even smaller. But in terms of the darkness overall of the the mid-tones, all the colors seem to be pretty deep. You would have to potentially pull in another palette to build your looks or blend things out, depending on what you're going for. But that palette's $150. So for $150, and you still have to pull in something else potentially, I can't imagine that quality is that good to merit that price point. But if you have purchased from Sugar Rock, I never have, please by all means sound off, let us know what are we missing here, because I don't get it. Choice Beauty, it's another Sea Beauty brand. They launched a 24 pan palette, and I found this one to be interesting because I almost bought one of their 6 pan palettes from their Beetles collection, I want to say, or Insect collection, one of the two. But this looks like 24 pans, but it's set up in like 4 quads that look really kind of springy. Looks like some good color stories if you look at it in terms of 6 quads, or if you looked at it in terms of, 4 6 pans or 6 quads. That's math. And but again, I'm not trying to pull in another like 24 or 20, shade palette. So there was a ton of stuff, and again, I didn't want to go over all of the Valentine's releases, but the one other thing I saw was from the Pastel Roses, another indie brand, and there was a palette with removable, like, magnetic pans, and they also were advertising what they're calling a fingertip touch silicone applicator. And it was like $10, but they're in the UK and you'd have to pay shipping. So what I'd offer to you is, that is what this is. It's got a little mushy tip. I bought this for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. I have a bunch of them. I use them for if I don't want to stick my finger in my eyeshadow, and they work okay. But yeah, they were like $10 plus crazy shipping. This is not a new invention, so save your money and head over to the dollar store and check out the beauty aisle. So that is it. I am gonna save myself a ton of money this week, and I still do have a couple of orders that I placed a couple weeks back and waiting for them to get here, and I will enjoy them. But let me know what you're picking up, let me know what you're interested in, and let me know if you think these brands are okay, because I've got questions. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.